The atmosphere at Eden Park was already electric before the opening whistle, but by the time the final whistle arrived, the conversation had shifted far beyond the scoreboard. New Zealand had produced an impressive 40-21 victory over Ireland, yet the debate that followed was almost as intense as the match itself. While the All Blacks celebrated another memorable performance on home soil, many Irish fans and pundits focused on two controversial moments they believed changed the course of the contest. It was a familiar story in modern rugby, where every major decision is replayed from every possible angle, discussed endlessly across television, podcasts, and social media. But as opinions continued to divide the rugby community, one former All Blacks legend decided he had heard enough. Justin Marshall stepped into the debate with strong words that immediately grabbed attention and sparked fresh discussion among supporters from both nations. The first talking point arrived during the opening half when the All Blacks had already established a 14-0 lead. During a physical contest at the breakdown, Luke Jacobson made dangerous contact while clearing out Josh van der Flier. The referee immediately showed a yellow card, and the incident was referred to the bunker for further review. Everyone inside the stadium waited for the verdict. Players gathered together, coaches watched nervously, and fans wondered whether the punishment would be increased to a 20-minute red card. After reviewing the footage, officials decided the yellow card would remain, allowing Jacobson to return later in the match. That decision instantly became one of the biggest talking points of the evening, with many Irish supporters believing the offense deserved a harsher punishment. The frustration for Ireland did not end there. Another controversial moment soon followed when Quinn Tupaea was penalized for a deliberate knock-on. Many watching expected another yellow card, believing the action had prevented a dangerous attacking opportunity. However, the referee explained that there was no obvious line break opportunity and therefore chose not to send Tupaea to the sin bin. Once again, debate erupted almost immediately. Television analysts examined the replay from every possible angle, former players shared different opinions, and supporters on both sides defended their own interpretations of the laws. In today's game, even a split-second decision can dominate headlines long after the final whistle. As the discussion grew louder, former All Blacks scrum half Justin Marshall delivered a response that quickly became one of the biggest stories after the match. Speaking openly, he argued that too much attention was being placed on refereeing decisions instead of what actually happened during the game. According to Marshall, focusing entirely on controversial moments ignored the bigger picture. He believed Ireland had made too many costly mistakes to claim that officiating alone determined the outcome. His comments were direct, passionate, and impossible to ignore, instantly creating another wave of debate across the rugby world. From Marshall's perspective, rugby is ultimately decided by execution rather than controversy. Every match includes decisions that one side will agree with and the other side will question. That has always been part of the sport. But championship teams, he suggested, find ways to overcome setbacks instead of allowing individual calls to define their performance. Whether fans agreed with him or not, his message reflected a belief shared by many experienced players, that elite rugby is about responding to challenges rather than dwelling on them. Looking back at the match itself, the statistics offered plenty to discuss beyond the controversial incidents. Ireland showed moments of quality and determination, particularly when they managed to score while Luke Jacobson was serving his yellow card. At that point, momentum briefly appeared to be shifting. A comeback suddenly seemed possible, and the contest felt very much alive. But instead of building on that success, Ireland immediately handed the initiative back. Despite the All Blacks still being reduced to 14 players, New Zealand crossed for another crucial try that restored their two-score advantage. It was a turning point that highlighted how quickly momentum can change at the highest level of international rugby. Throughout the remainder of the match, the All Blacks displayed the qualities that have made them one of rugby's most respected teams for generations. Their attack remained sharp, their support play was relentless, and they capitalized whenever opportunities appeared. Every mistake from Ireland seemed to be punished. Under the guidance of head coach Dave Rennie, the team continued to play with confidence, discipline, and impressive composure. Rather than becoming distracted by discussions surrounding officiating, the players stayed focused on executing their game plan until the very end. For Ireland, the defeat will undoubtedly provide valuable lessons. Every top international side experiences setbacks, and often those difficult moments become the foundation for future improvement. Coaches will carefully analyze handling errors, defensive lapses, and missed opportunities just as closely as any refereeing decisions. At this level, tiny details frequently separate victory from defeat, and successful teams know they must control the factors within their own performance before worrying about anything else. The reaction from the wider rugby community perfectly demonstrated why the sport continues to generate such passionate conversations. Some observers believed the officials made the correct decisions according to the laws. Others remained convinced that Luke Jacobson should have received a harsher sanction or that Quinn Tupaea deserved time in the sin bin. Rugby fans are rarely united on controversial moments, and healthy debate has always been part of what makes the game so compelling. Different perspectives, expert analysis, and respectful disagreement all contribute to the excitement that continues long after 80 minutes have been played. Regardless of where supporters stand on the controversy, one fact remains undeniable. The scoreboard reflected a commanding performance from the All Blacks, who once again proved why Eden Park remains one of the toughest places in world rugby for visiting teams. Ireland arrived with high expectations and undeniable talent, but New Zealand delivered when it mattered most. As attention now turns toward the next challenges in the Nations Championship, both teams will be eager to move forward. Ireland will aim to bounce back stronger, while the All Blacks will look to build on an impressive victory filled with confidence and momentum. Meanwhile,